The courtroom was tense. A lawyer in a sharp navy suit leaned forward, his voice dripping with arrogance. "Your Honor," he sneered, "this woman has no credibility. She's a single mother, drowning in bills, desperate for attention. She has nothing." Laughter rippled through the gallery. The single mom at the defense table lowered her head, clutching a stack of worn papers. She looked small, fragile, outmatched by the polished attorneys standing against her. But in just a few minutes, that same lawyer would go silent. His smirk would vanish, and the courtroom would witness one of the most shocking turnarounds they'd ever seen. Because this mother carried evidence so powerful, it would expose the truth and humiliate the very man who mocked her. Her name was Angela Morris, 38 years old, a nurse's aide, living in a cramped apartment with peeling paint and a broken radiator. Her life was a daily grind of double shifts and sleepless nights, all for her two children, ages 9 and 12. She wasn't wealthy. She didn't have connections. But what she did have was grit, and a story she refused to let the world ignore. Angela had worked for Richard Hale, a high-powered attorney in the city, known for his charisma and ruthless tactics. He wore his success like a crown, expensive suits, a flashy car, a reputation for winning at all costs. But beneath that polished exterior, there were cracks. And Angela knew one of his darkest secrets. It started 6 months earlier. Angela had taken a second job cleaning offices at night. One of those offices belonged to Richard Hale. She thought nothing of it until one evening, she stumbled across something unusual. Inside a file folder left carelessly on Hale's desk was evidence, documents that contradicted testimony he had given in a high-profile case. To Angela, it looked like proof of fraud, proof that Hale had lied under oath. At first, she said nothing. What could a single mom do against a man like him? But then her conscience gnawed at her. She watched Hale rise higher and higher, his arrogance unchecked, while innocent lives were being damaged by his lies. Finally, she made the choice. She would speak out, but Hale wasn't about to let her destroy him. He filed a lawsuit against Angela, claiming she was making false accusations to extort money. He painted her as desperate, dishonest, and unworthy of belief. That's how Angela found herself in court, facing the man she once worked for, and staring down a system that seemed stacked against her. The crime, as Hale framed it, wasn't theft or assault. It was daring to challenge power. Angela sat silently at the defense table, her hands trembling as Hale strutted across the courtroom. His voice boomed with practiced confidence. "This woman is lying," he declared. "She's a single mother, struggling financially, and she thinks she can use the courts to shake me down. But she has no proof, no credibility, no case." The jury shifted uneasily. Some nodded. Others glanced at Angela with pity. Angela's public defender leaned close. "Stay calm. We'll do our best." But Angela's eyes narrowed. She wasn't here to beg for sympathy. She was here to show the truth. When it was finally her turn to testify, she rose slowly, clutching a worn folder to her chest. She walked to the witness stand, her steps steady, her heart pounding. Hale smirked. "Let's see what fairy tale she has for us today." The judge cleared his throat. "Ms. Morris, you may proceed." Angela opened the folder. Inside was more than just paper. It was power. Angela began with the documents she had found. Copies of contracts and memos that directly contradicted Richard Hale's sworn statements in another case. She held them up one by one, her voice trembling at first, then growing stronger. "This," she said, "is an internal memo signed by Mr. Hale. In it, he acknowledges knowing about evidence he later denied existed in court." Gasps rippled through the gallery. Hale shifted in his seat, his jaw tightening. Angela continued. "This," she said, holding another sheet, "is a bank transfer showing payments made to a witness who testified on his behalf. Payments he never disclosed." The jury leaned forward. The judge adjusted his glasses. But Angela wasn't finished. She reached into the folder one last time and pulled out a flash drive. "And this," she said, "is a recording. A voicemail, Mr. Hale. Left me the night I discovered the documents. He begged me to keep quiet. And when I refused, he threatened me." The courtroom froze. The prosecutor requested the audio be played. A hush fell as Hale's own voice filled the room. "Angela, you don't know who you're messing with. Keep your mouth shut, or I'll make sure nobody ever believes a desperate woman like you." The silence that followed was deafening. Richard Hale's smirk was gone. He sat pale and sweating, his carefully crafted image collapsing before the eyes of the jury. The judge leaned forward, his gavel trembling in his hand. "Mr. Hale, these are serious allegations, supported by credible evidence. I have no choice but to refer this matter to the district attorney's office for further investigation." The jury stared at Hale with contempt. The gallery murmured. Angela sat quietly, her hands folded, the weight of months of fear finally lifting. Reporters swarmed the courthouse steps that afternoon. Cameras flashed. Headlines screamed across the city. Within weeks, Hale faced disbarment hearings and criminal charges for perjury and witness tampering. His career, his empire of arrogance, crumbled overnight. As for Angela, she returned to her life. She still worked long shifts. She still struggled to pay bills. But she walked with her head higher than before, because she had done what few dared to do. She stood up to power and won. Angela's story isn't just about one arrogant lawyer or one struggling mother. It's about appearances, how quick we are to dismiss the powerless, and how easily we believe the polished confidence of the powerful. But truth doesn't bend to arrogance. And sometimes, the smallest voice in the room can carry the loudest truth. So next time you see someone being mocked, doubted, or dismissed, remember Angela, because laughter can turn to silence, and arrogance can turn to regret. Sparkles if the story made you think. Share it. Subscribe for more stories that matter. Let's keep the conversation going.